drugged up on painkillers, he can barely move. But he's here. And that is what it means to have a sense of duty and to be of service. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the force, the legend, the one and the only, His Excellency Honorable Minister Dr. Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism for Jamaica. Everyone up on stage, welcome.
I shouldn't forgive myself for asking the second prettiest girl in the world to be in Jamaica today, but more so to introduce me at this very important third Global Tourism Residence Day and Conference. All right, now you are special, and I want us to give a very special round of applause to our Edmund. I want also for us to give each other a nice smiling glance. Just look at each other and smile at each other today. Just look at each other and smile at each other today. Yes. This is the third renewal of Global Tourism Resilience Day. And this is a special day for all of us in tourism across the world. But it's a special day for Jamaica because it's little Jamaica that went to the UN first with a speech to UNGA by our Prime Minister, and then by resolution delivered by, and I don't speak in third persons much, the Minister of Tourism. And at the end of the presentation, 94 countries subscribed to the resolution and made it difficult for the President to take it. And so Jamaica became only the second country in the world to have the UN designate a day for tourism. The first being Nigeria 50 years to 2023 when we did, and then Jamaica. And so, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, partners in tourism, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you well this morning. Very, very fun, rich, strong, bright, warm and friendly Jamaica. Good morning to you here. Good afternoon to those elsewhere. Good evening for others elsewhere, even wherever you may be joining us from around the world. Just feel the nice Jamaican warmth, the Jamaican welcome, the Jamaican greeting, the Jamaican vibe, and to close it all, the Jamaican irony. You know what Irie is? Ask Bob Marley. Irie is? Irie. What is Irie? Irie. All right, that means it cannot be defined. This is something very special that you only can have it if you are Jamaican. So, Jamaica is giving to the world now that Irie feeling this morning. So we're gathered here at the dawn of an era that demands new vision, renewed commitment, and unwavering resolve. We come together at this third Global Tourism Resilience Conference to celebrate our shared achievements, confront our common vulnerabilities, and chart a course forward for tourism worldwide. Today's session is doubly significant as we also observe Global Tourism Resilience Day, a day dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of building resilience across our sectors and creating spaces for dialogue and transformative action. Tourism is not merely about leisure or sightseeing. It is the lifeblood of many economies, a catalyst for world development, and a critical pillar in the architecture of global growth. For developing countries in particular, tourism represents a path to empowerment, job creation, poverty alleviation, and the preservation of cultural heritage. It fosters cross-cultural exchange, promotes tolerance, and deepens our shared sense of humanity. Yet, the benefits of tourism are not exclusive to developing nations alone. Tourism is a worldwide economic driver, employing 1 in every 10 individuals globally. It is a unifying thread that weaves together people from different walks of life, bridging continents and cultures, and serving as an engine of prosperity. When the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the globe, few industries felt its fury more intensely than the tourism sector. In a matter of weeks, borders were sealed, flights were grounded, and flow of travelers ceased almost entirely. This abrupt halt has not merely been a momentary inconvenience. It was an economic earthquake that shook communities and livelihoods worldwide. However, tourism by its very nature is resilient. It thrives on human curiosity, our innate desire to explore the unknown, and our deep longing to connect with the global community. Indeed, in its essence, tourism as an instrument of peace and resilience embodies the true sense of what peace really is, that it is not merely the absence of conflict, but it is the presence of connections. And that's what we do and have done so well over the years. Yet, even as we recover, we must not ignore the vulnerabilities that tourism has. From natural disasters to geopolitical shocks, from health emergencies to climate change, these challenges stand ever present, testing the durability of our beloved industry. That is why our collective mission must be to mitigate these vulnerabilities and strengthen the resilience of tourism. We must harness innovation, champion sustainability, and foster collaboration across all sectors to ensure that the next crisis, whatever form it takes, does not cripple our progress, but rather spurs our creativity and resolve. Here, I want you to allow me to underscore the role of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, headquartered here in Jamaica. And I want you to forgive me a personal indulgence. Because by founding this global resource center, by founding this institutional instrument to enable capacity building, what we have tried to do is to create an avenue for global expression. More importantly, a reservoir of information and knowledge on which the world can draw to create new vistas, to innovate, and to find a new way of solving old problems. Because vulnerabilities are not new. They may change their form based on the exigencies of the moment. But the world has had vulnerabilities from the beginning. And disruptions are not new. They only change their dimensions or become more aggressive in terms of their action. But vulnerabilities and disruptions we've had ever since Anthropocene Earth. COVID-19 made the biggest statement of it all, when for the first time in our history, every single human being was impacted by a single phenomenon. But what we have done by way of establishing the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center 2 years before COVID-19 was declared by the WHO, was to say that the world of tourism that we're so much a part of, that we rely so heavily on, has to find a way not just to resolve difficulties and differences when they arrive and they come about us, but how to foretell these difficulties. How to mitigate against these difficulties, how to manage the difficulties when they arrive, and how to recover, but more importantly, recover quickly, and finally, how to thrive. And so, in the past few years, the quest to build resilience, digital technology and its allies, artificial intelligence, for example, and data analytics have become part of the reservoir of knowledge and information that the center has embraced and is enabling the development of toolkits and different forms of action that can enable those 5 touch points that I mentioned a while ago. First of all, real-time data analytics, to be able to monitor travel flows, consumer trends, and potential risk, allowing us to make proactive decisions. Secondly, virtual engagements and marketing, to offer immersive experiences that can keep destinations top of mind, even during travel pauses. And I give you an example. During COVID, we were able to have a virtual mass wedding at Laughing Waters in Ocho Rios, where I was the master of ceremony, and there was a minister, and we actually married 140 couples across the world and said to them, when COVID is over, come to Jamaica for your honeymoon. Thirdly, smart destination management, enhancing visitor experiences through digital ticketing, crowd management, and personalized itineraries that promote sustainability and authenticity. And fourthly, robust crisis communication, facilitating swift and clear communication with stakeholders, travelers, and local communities in times of crisis. The world is geographically ignorant. We know very little about everywhere. When we had hurricanes here that hit Barbuda and Antigua, the calls were going to Barbados and Bermuda. And more importantly, they were coming to Jamaica because it was Caribbean. Nobody knew the geographical location properly. Getting precise information, adequate and proper information about what's happening, where it's happening, how it's happening, who it's happening by, who is affected is critical to crisis management. That's a huge part of the job that we have to do to enable robust crisis communication. And by weaving these digital tools into tourism strategies, we can foresee disruptions, respond effectively to crises, and ensure the continuity of this vital sector. At the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, we focus on a range of thematic areas that advance tourism resilience worldwide. We have led innovative programs and strategic alliances that speak to our commitment in areas such as climate tourism resilience, so that in partnership with Japan International Cooperation Agencies, JICA, and Airbnb, we have launched initiatives here in the Caribbean to support small tourism enterprises and coastal communities, ensuring they are more robust in the face of climate-related threats. Secondly, pandemic management. Through collaboration with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, we developed guidelines and framework to prepare destinations for health emergencies, enabling them to weather the storm of COVID-19 and any further pandemics more effectively. Thirdly, entrepreneurial resilience. In Jordan, for example, through cultural heritage projects, we have empowered local entrepreneurs to protect, preserve, and promote Jordan's rich historic sites, ensuring that tourism growth aligns with heritage conservation. Fourthly, digital resilience, AI initiatives. Now, we are pleased to announce a new frontier of work focusing on digital resilience. Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management will be rolling out a series of AI-driven initiatives designed to enhance destinations worldwide, from dedicated training and capacity building programs to thought leadership and advocacy efforts. By equipping tourism stakeholders with cutting-edge digital skills, we aim to reshape the industry, making it more agile, inclusive, and future-ready. These initiatives collectively stand to transform global tourism. They illustrate how resilient building efforts can range from environmental sustainability to public health, from heritage preservation to digital innovation, all converging to create a seamless and sustainable global tourism environment. The final spark of inspiration that has driven us is that we invite each and everyone from across the world to embrace the essence of tourism resilience, not just as a means of being able to track, mitigate, manage, recover, and thrive after disruptions, but as a means of ensuring sustainable development and growth. Because resilience is a forerunner to sustainability, and that you cannot, in fact, be truly sustainable until you are resilient. So this is the day that we invite the world to reflect on its true self, to find itself by building capacity, to understand how to navigate disruptions of the future. I want to close by thanking the teams that have come from the various centers across the world. We've established 6 centers across the world. And I particularly want to single out the East Africa Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center and ESCOT, the work that they have done. I recall when I went there in 2019 to establish the center, December 2019. 3 months after, we had COVID. And when I went back to the university in 2021, as I walked in, the Vice Chancellor said, "Here comes the prophet." And I said, really? And he said, yes. Because who knew that in 2019, when we established this center, the world would have its most disruptive experience in history. And so, we don't want to be made into prophets. What we want to be made into are activists driving this great campaign to build capacity, to be able to foresee crises, to mitigate against crises, to manage crises when they come, to recover and recover quickly from crises, but most importantly, to thrive after crisis. How wonderful, delightful, Global Tourism Resilience Day, and it is my pleasure to also declare open this great conference on digital transformation. Thank you.